Naegele is in. Joe Lode brought up a very good idea.
I was so excited. I was in the shower. I shut off the shower and jumped out to listen to what he had to say about that.
It's an awesome idea.
We could knock that out of the park.
Knock it out of the park. Right now, so you know, the record apparently is 1,100.
Amateur hour.
1,100, what is it, simultaneous, is it a can?
Tab pulls?
Oh,
sure.
Yeah.
1,100. That's only 45 cases. That is a slow week in the Naegele house.
That is right. Naegele, we could do this in your backyard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'd love to have you.
So imagine if we did it at a Saranac Thursday or even post-race party Boilermaker when there's 40,000 people there.
Right. I mean, do you want to put it that far out of reach? Or
I do. I think you got to go all the way.
That's what I'm saying. If you set it so high, it will be near impossible.
I don't even know if there's 40,000 people in Maine.
That's a good point. Yeah, boy, this would be. And so I'm trying to visualize it because I work on the stage for the post race party, and we would just have to coordinate with everybody. We're media out in front of it.
Pass
this
it back,
is what's
pass
happening.
It back, pass it back.
Everybody gets everybody ready. Everybody has a can of beer.
Right when the flyover.
And Nick and Fred do the countdown, and everybody cracks it. We don't break the world record. We shatter it.
Correct. Yeah, that's pretty easy. And all to benefit somebody like the United Way or
you could do it
pick
that
a
way
charity.
Too. Yeah.
I'd pay $1 for a Utica club to break a world record, so you got $40,000 right there.
Yeah, love it. Yeah, you could be buying tickets to be a part of the whole thing in advance. I mean, we could really turn this into something.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
Well, but hang on. We just complicated the issue.
Okay.
We just complicated the issue because the post race is free, and that's for the runners and for the community. So now if we're charging $1, how do you track that? Well, I think. Well, I'm not obviously leading this charge, but I'm just saying I think we got to go one way or the other.
Here was going to be.
Listen, I'm just saying. Let's make it clear so we don't have a flub. Let's not have a flub like they had in Maine.
You're right.
Let's not have people showing up.
I mean, we could do it on a single Saranac Thursday. We could beat it by almost 3 times.
I agree.
We don't have to do a post-race party.
Right.
But.
That's what I'm thinking. What was it?
I say you go for the gusto, though. I mean, if you're going to do it, let's do it.
I'm almost as excited about this as I am to see Nick Foles starting the Super Bowl on Sunday and beat Tom Brady.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just say, staying in line with this, show me another event where there's 40,000 people and a good crowd, a good chunk of those people are drinking beer, and the beer is free.
Right. I mean, those numbers right there. The last time when I was last working at the brewery in 2011, we did 240 half barrels in under 2 hours.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of gallons of beer.
Cans would be more expensive, though, right?
How many?
Hey,
talk to Fred.
I got to tell you something.
I've already texted him. I said, are you in?
Let's get him in tomorrow. Let's do this tomorrow.
Let's go.
And don't tell him Joe Lode came up with the idea. Joe,
it's already too late.
Joe's been at odds over the minute a product goes away. Joe is an owner of the Saranac.
He is very
the FX
contentious.
Brewery.
Well, everybody who drinks Saranac and Utica Club
are owners. They feel
absolutely.
like they're owners. Yeah,
certainly.
Yeah,
which
is an awesome.
It becomes
thing.
a part of you.
Yeah.
Well, I hear it from bar owners all the time. Everybody knows how to do 2 jobs: the job they do and how to run your bar.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yes, that is the way it goes. But listen, great idea from Joe.
I love it.
I like it. All right, tell me what you brought in here today.
All right, so
this looks fruity, but it's not.
No, it's not fruity. It is actually quite a bitter little pill of an IPA. It's from Long Trail Brewing Company.
This is what you're going to taste on Sunday afternoon. I'm afraid.
Will you stop?
We'll get into football
soon enough. But so this is a Limbo IPA. So the name actually has a cool story behind it. Every brewery has like a pilot system where they batch out stuff to try and they give it to their consumers and their regulars. And they started making some really, really nice IPAs up there, and they called it their brown bag series because it was unlabeled. So they would just give it to you and say, what do you think? And somebody emailed and said, don't keep me in limbo waiting for more IPAs like this. So they're like, all right, well, we got a winner here and a good name. So Limbo IPA.
All right.
And you and I were talking about the IBUs for a couple of weeks now. So the first one I brought in was 60. The one nonstop hop that I brought
Explain
in last
what that
week
is again. That's the
International Bitterness Unit.
Okay.
So it's just a metric that you can measure bitterness by, so that it's not subjective. You might think that something's bitter. I might think that it's not. This is actually a metric that you can measure by. And so the first one that I brought in was 60. The one that I brought in last week was only around 40. This is 80. And
okay, yeah, it is bitter. Yeah.
So, but it's balanced by the sweetness of it. So this is a much bigger beer. It's 7.6% alcohol. It has a huge malt bill. So that sweetness from the malt bill balances out the bitterness of the hop, and you wind up with something that's still palatable but packs a punch.
I like it.
Nice.
I was going to say
it does pack a punch.
It absolutely packs a punch. They're making fun of me.
I didn't know if they were making fun of you or me.
But you talk about the balance, and I would, in my opinion, and everybody has a different palate, the 60 IBU tasted to me more bitter, but you talk about the balance. This is an 80, but it doesn't. It's bitter, but not as bitter.
Yeah. So again, that's all in the balance of the beer. So it's kind of like sweet beats heat when you're cooking, and you throw a bunch of peppers in something, and you go, "Oh, I went too far." I do that a lot. My wife hates me. And then you just take a handful of sugar and throw it in there, and all of a sudden it's not as hot.
Right. Or it probably is, but you've
but you just don't notice.
You just don't notice it as much. Yeah. Yes, and you will the next day.
Yep. So speaking of bitter pills, if I may, congratulations to the Eagles. There's not a franchise I don't think I hate more than the Eagles.
I was about to say, I know how pained you must be to say that.
Eagles have broken Giants' hearts many times. I can think of at least 3 games that were completely in our favor, game over. You've kept us out of the playoffs. The kid with the kick return, the one when we had you by 23, we had you by 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I don't like the Eagles, but I also hate the Patriots, so I will root for the Eagles this weekend. What is your take heading into the Super Bowl? The Eagles look for, we've had 2 in the last 10 years, the Giants. You look for your first in franchise history to get you up to speed a little bit. But how do you feel heading into the weekend?
Little salt in that, too. Little seasoning.
Yeah. But that's a 90 bitter on the bitter scale. I'm 90.
90 IBUs. I would take even money. Heads up bets for the Eagles. Okay. No points necessary. They're going to win outright. Absolutely.
I think they will win outright too.
I certainly hope so.
What it comes down to is the defense. Yeah. And if they can stop Gronk is a scary, scary man.
Enormous, making catches that you don't think. Plus,
he can line up in the slot. He can line up wide. And everywhere he catches the ball. It doesn't matter if it's above his head, at his shoelaces. He catches it, and then he turns around and runs over like 3 or 4 people. Gronk is a scary dude.
Yeah.
But if we could just, I don't know. We just got to beat him down.
Yeah. Well, they did a few weeks ago, and he's back.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying we beat him with a baseball bat.
No. Pull Tanya Harding on him.
Yeah, exactly. No, beat him with a... Don't beat him with a helmet. Beat him, on the field.
All right, Nagel. Good luck with that.
Thank you very much.
Good
luck.
Really
Sincerely.
Good. Really good.
Thank you.
So, and we're going to get started on this Guinness record. I like it.
I'll make some calls today.
It's so cool to be using like a Saranac or a Utica Club product to break a Guinness record. I kind of like that.
Certainly.
Kind of cool.